So my name is Megan Crowch. I'm a naturopath and herbalist, and I'm just going to go through 5 of my top tips, or in this case, top ingredients or recipes or remedies. So to begin with, I've got some nettle soup here that I have prepared earlier, and it's such a nutritious soup that is so easy to prepare. And this morning I just went along the canal near to where I live and collected some nettle leaves. And you can go into the countryside to a hedgerow or maybe into your back garden to do this. And you just add some onion, potato and stock and boil it for about 20 minutes and then give it a blend. And then you've got this beautiful nutritious soup to enjoy. I'm not sure if you can see the colour of this, but it's a brilliant emerald green colour. And it's full of vitamins and minerals, and it's really wholesome. And more than that, it's a nice way to involve nature in our health. So it's making that choice to go out into your local environment and to collect some herbs and bring them back and make something that is truly going to promote our health. And that's a very nice way of looking after ourselves, I think. More than that as well, if you bring a flask of this soup to lunch at your workplace and someone sees you eating a soup that's this colour, that's going to promote a discussion about how good it is to involve nature in our healthcare and the different easy remedies that we have around us to help us to do that. So if I move on to the next one, I've got some garlic here. You probably already know that garlic is probably quite good for our health, but scientific studies and systematic reviews of clinical trials have shown that specifically garlic is really good for your cardiovascular health, specifically beneficial for your cholesterol levels and reducing blood pressure. So one of my medical friends recently said to me, well, why don't they make a tablet out of garlic? But you don't really need a tablet because it's just right here, and you can just put some cloves in your everyday cooking as a nice way to get this lovely ingredient into your diet to look after your cardiovascular health. Just one word of caution about garlic: it does tend to thin the blood, so if you're on warfarin or any other blood thinning medication, please check with either myself or a registered herbalist near you to make sure that it's going to be safe for you to take. If I just move on to ginger, this is such a versatile ingredient. You've probably used it a lot before. I really like to make ginger tea out of this. So if you've got a lot of time in the morning, about 10 minutes, then you can make a whole pot. You can just take a chunk of your ginger and chop it finely, add it to a pot of boiling water, maybe put in some nutmeg or cinnamon or some honey to taste, and then you can take it in a flask with you to your workplace and drink throughout the day. If you don't have time for that, just take a root of ginger to your workplace, and whenever you need a nice warming tea, especially in the winter, you can just slice off a few bits, add it to hot water, and there you've got a lovely tea. Not only is it really warming, but it's actually quite a good alternative to teas and coffees because it's quite pungent and stimulating in itself. So if you're looking to cut down on your caffeine, ginger tea is a good alternative. As well, if you find perhaps after your lunch that you might be a little bit bloated, a nice ginger tea might help to settle the stomach. So here I've got some almonds, and these ones I have blanched, but you could easily use raw almonds which still have the skin on them. And I have brought these as a top ingredient because they're so good to have as a snack as you go about your day. So almonds is one example, but you could have other snacks that are quite wholesome, like oatcakes or a banana or a pear or something like that. I always carry almonds with me because in times where I get that sudden hunger or sugar craving, they're really good to just have handy so that you can tide yourself over instead of rushing into the nearest shop to get a quick sugary fix. And lastly, my top tip of a nice easy remedy that you may already have at home is Epsom salts. So I've got some here. And Epsom salts are really easy to find in your chemist or in your local health store. And they're usually found on the most bottom shelf of the most furthest away corner, but I think they should be there in front of you as you walk in the door because they're so beneficial for so many people. So Epsom salts are magnesium sulfate, and they're best absorbed through the skin, so that's when you would put them in a bath or in a foot bath. So for a whole bath, about 2 cups of Epsom salts is about right, and for a foot bath about half a cup. And magnesium sulfate is what is contained inside here, and magnesium is really important to relax the muscles in our body. So if you have got any tense muscles like a stiff neck or shoulder, or where you have got some back pain or injuries and the muscles have tensed up around that to compensate, then it's really quite relaxing, a lot of people find, to add Epsom salts to their bath. You can try it the once, and if it works then you can do it regularly, so it might actually help with more long-term muscle tensed conditions.